guys, Yoda Code 43 here today with another tour and drive for you. And today I've got my hands on probably one of the strangest and rarest cars I'm going to ever have a chance to check out. This is not a Caterham or Lotus Super 7, though that may be what it looks like. As you saw from the badge on the center cap of the rear wheel there, this is a Mitsuoka. It's a Mitsuoka ZERO1, Z-E-R-O, and then the number 1. It was their very first model. 1996 model year this car is, freshly imported from Japan by Nomad Auto Imports here in Flint, Michigan. Just has a standard key for the ignition. It has a locking gas cap, which is this key here. And then this third piece that looks like a coin turned into a keychain is used for unlocking the hood. So let's do a little walk around and I'll tell you what I know about it, because information for these cars is basically non-existent in English and otherwise very hard to find, because they sure as heck didn't make a lot of them, though they did make 2 versions of it. These originally came out in 1994 and ran until 2000 in this configuration and look. Then they also made an updated, call it a Series 2, I think they called it the Classic Type F, which I'll provide a picture here, that came out in 1996 and ran through the year 2000, but otherwise was the same looking car, just with a different front end and roll bar treatment. So obviously, like I say, the mission of this car was to be like a Lotus 7 or Caterham 7, because the wheels are pushed out all the way to the edges for maximum stability. The engine is front mid mounted under the hood, and it's lightweight. So here, I'll run through the specs for you. It's 1,562 pounds, which is heavier than most of these style cars usually are, but that's because this is actually an optioned car. It has air conditioning. It has heat, but it doesn't actually have a radio. Air conditioning was pretty much the only option you had for these. It does come with a full roof. I have pictures that I can share in here of the roof up and with the doors on. It's all fabric roof, fabric doors, plastic windows, etc., etc. Pretty difficult to deal with and makes it almost impossible to get in and out of. I'm a big person, so I don't plan to get in here with the roof on. I also don't fit in the seats, so I will not be the one driving. It'll be driven by Mason from Nomad. So, like I say, 1,560 pounds. The core mechanics of this car are actually NA first generation Miata with a 1.8 liter engine. The rear suspension is all Miata. The front suspension is actually custom, especially since it's pushed all the way out to the corners. But the core being of the car is Miata. So it's the 1.8 liter twin cam Miata engine with 128 horsepower. And it has a full exhaust system. If you look under the hood, which I can provide a picture of right here, it looks just like a stock Miata engine. There's actually a catalytic converter inside of this front heat shield as it comes out of the engine bay. And then this is all one big muffler down the side. And you can see here, it has a carbon fiber treatment on the fenders. And then this sticker, which will not show up very well, I'm sure, has all of the specifications to the car listed at the back half here. I'm imagining that the graphics on this used to be more black, like the strips you see on the side here, but they've worn away over the years. Actually, that wire coming out of the side goes to an O2 sensor behind the cab, because this is technically an OBD2 car, being 96. Out back, it's just standard pod lights for your tail lights and signals, and then you have 2 large fog lights for reverse. You can see there's another muffler here at the back, a resonator rather, and your tailpipe. It's all stock Miata size. The car is unbelievably quiet, as you'll see later. Here is your locking gas cap. I think I heard it was a 35 liter fuel tank, so it's just a little bit under 10 gallons, call it 9.25, 9.5 gallons, something like that. I'm actually kind of surprised it's even that big. And underneath this tonneau cover here on the back, you're able to stow the entire roof and doors and roof support bar that go in this car. They're all underneath there right now. The roof support bar actually goes into these two little, there's one here and one on the other side, these two little pockets here, and stands up above the seats to provide a bow for the roof to sit on. Otherwise, the windshield frame is removable if you so chose. And yeah, you're seeing that correctly. There's 3 wipers on here. Modern Toyota FJ or vintage E-Type, anybody? And for those of you wondering, this Bright Logic logo you see scattered about the car, they are a motorcycle training and service company based out of Japan. They may be defunct at this point, but they should still have an Instagram page that exists. You might even be able to find an old picture of this car if you look around on their Instagram page, if you can find it. But that's the information I was given, is they're like a motorcycle training facility, and they will do motorcycle service as well in Japan. They'll service any type of bike. That's the information I was given. The wheels are not a standard Miata wheel, but they are standard size. They're a 14x6 with a 185 60 14-inch tire, 4x100, bolt pattern, disc brakes all the way around, which makes sense, of course, being a performance-y car. I mentioned the motorcycle company because of this blue capped light on the back, which, if you can believe it, it's actually just a cutaway of a bottle over a lamp. But I'm guessing that was used for when they were driving around on their lot. They wanted the bikes to follow them, type of thing. Not entirely sure. You have a spare wheel on the back. You have your license plate bracket right behind that. As far as the interior goes, yeah, it's tight in here. I can sit in here, but it is hectically tight. I can't sit in here for more than about 10 minutes, if I'm honest. And that's just sitting in the passenger seat. I sat in the driver's seat before, and my feet go under the pedals. It's just not possible for me to drive this at all. But other details, it is full leather interior. You've got leather padding over the edges of the body as well. And you have this padding, but this is actually, well, the best way I can describe it is like a fanny pack, but honestly, it's a glove box. You can open it up, and there's storage space inside. There's a sticker here that says SRS airbag, because the factory steering wheel that would have been on this car had an airbag, but this has an aftermarket Momo unit, which is detachable, which definitely makes it easier to get into and out of the car. It does have a working horn, and I have been told what all of these auxiliary switches are for. Let's see if I get them right. These two are for auxiliary interior lighting. This one powers the rear view camera mounted over the license plate frame, which there is a screen that comes with the car, but it gets mounted just like plastered up onto the windshield, like with a suction cup, basically. And you plug it in. Then there is the hot feed for the lamp in the back of the car. Then there's just the switch for the lamp, and that should be about it. So, being that it's Miata based, it has a Miata transmission as well, so it has a glorious shifter feel. Oh, I remember what the other switch is for. The last switch is for the cigarette lighter / power point mounted here between the seats. All of those are only active when the ignition is turned on. And you have your fuel gauge here, you have oil pressure, then over on the dash you have your rev counter, your speedometer, you have your water temperature, and I think that's about it besides indicators and high beam lights. You have 2 vents in the dash here for heat. There is a pull cable for your heat vent over here. It says heat right on it. You can see right to the left of the steering wheel there. And I've been told, just from the limited experience driving over here in the cold, because it's cold out, it's 30 degrees right now. He said the heat was unbearable after just a few minutes with the blower on its lowest setting. You got your blower control on the left. However, there's a secondary knob behind it here that turns on the AC to various levels. Like I say, the AC was an option on this car. but it does have it. It does work. Then you have your various warning lights for battery, exhaust temperature, brake pad wear, and seat belts, all which were requirements at the time. Other than that, there's not really a whole lot to cover in here besides you can see all of the snaps here that if you had the windshield off, you would be able to put a full tonneau cover over the cockpit area if you so chose. Yeah, that's really about all there is to cover. It's fully independent suspension all the way around. Double A-arm in the front, double wishbone, I should say. Very sporty feeling. It doesn't ride stiff. It rides very comfortably, actually, like a stock Miata, though it is about 700-800 pounds lighter than a stock Miata. It's about 600 pounds lighter than a stock Miata, or first generation. Very cool, very interesting. Glad I get a chance to check it out. And yeah, we're gonna try and hook up some cameras on this thing, and we're gonna try and go for a drive. We're gonna put the doors on because it's cold, and I don't want to put the roof on. We don't want to put the roof on because it'll be hard to get into and because the heat gets unbearable. So we're thinking if we leave the roof off but the doors on, there will be little enough wind inside that it'll be okay. In the true spirit of a British roadster, drive with the roof down anytime it's not raining, even if it's cold. All right, see you in a second when I got it set up. Okay, here we go. We're gonna take a little ride in the Mitsuoka, and if it looks like we're packed in here, we are. So quiet. Oh yeah, the auxiliary lighting. Won't be able to see it on the video, but that is the auxiliary exterior light that was used by the motorcycle. That heat, it is already good.
Yeah, it is cold.
Not getting any breeze yet, but you know, barely moving. With us two guys in here, you know, this is a car that was designed for small Japanese people that weigh a few pounds less than me, that's for sure, but that's okay. But it's definitely a cool experience. I've never been in a vehicle quite like this before, so I'm really looking forward to it. I don't care if it's cold, just fine. The car ride's actually really good. Tuned for sport, but also for comfort, for, you know, a good long weekend drive. Clutch effort's nice and easy. It's really cool being able to see what the front wheels are doing. Really cool. Visibility is, of course, well, the best you could ever ask for. There's nothing blocking your way at all.
Yeah, even with the top on, it's not bad. The rear view is a little like blurry, because the rear glass is made of plastic essentially.
Right.
So that kind of obscures the actual light. But otherwise, it's actually really good to drive.
In all honesty, I'm thinking you could probably expect a slightly better fuel economy than a stock Miata of the early 90s because it weighs a lot less with the same power plant, the same gearbox and stuff. All right, we're gonna take a little tour around some city surface streets for a few minutes, and I'll leave it up to you if you want to go on the highway with it. I am prepared for it. No. Okay, we don't have to.
It is too cold for that.
It is cold. It is a almost clear night. It's like 29, 30 degrees. Let's let you hear the sounds of the car for a few minutes. Takes our ride the city streets pretty decently.
People with long legs need not apply. This is built for you. Sporty, but it's totally doable. This engine is actually really, really well matched to this car, too.
It is a very healthy car.
I never mentioned the mileage before, and that's totally on me. It has 22,000 and change verified kilometers on it, so something like 15,000 original miles. Probably because the company that bought it, if they bought it anywhere near when it was new, you know, it didn't really leave their property all that much, maybe for, you know, PR stuff here or there, but it really wasn't driven very much, which is absolutely insane. I mean, it's a grade 4.5 car. It's the nicest one you could possibly come across. Probably one of the nicest ones left. It doesn't matter if it's 30 degrees, 80 degrees, cloudy or sunny. Again, some people have the roof off even when it's cold.
It's really just this simple. There's like nothing to this car.
No, and this is a car. This is essentially a car and a minimalist one. but minimalist in a good way. It follows Colin Chapman's old adage of simplify and add lightness. That's exactly what Mitsuoka did. But to a Miata, which was already, in the spirit of a Lotus Elan from back in the 60s and 70s.
It's already a well-known performance base.
Right.
Mind you, I believe they did a pretty good job.
Oh, yeah. For a first effort? Heck yeah, they did.
Well, now they have many models.
Right. I mentioned earlier, I will have some added photos in the main content of the video of some of their other strange models over the years. No, further down. I believe it's. Yeah, the next one down. Yeah, one way the other direction. Yeah. Harris. I could remember the name of it for the life of me. Well, I'm going to do a little sign off here, and then we'll just let the drive finish out the rest of the video, the last little bit in the city. But hope you guys enjoyed the little walk around and drive of this really unique vehicle, Mitsuoka ZERO1. Like I mentioned earlier, imported by Nomad Auto Imports here in Michigan. Really cool. And yeah, otherwise, stay safe. See you next time. This was way more enjoyable like this with the doors on and the roof off than I expected.
Yeah.
Way more so.
Super fun to drive. The shifter is my favorite part about this car. By
Yeah,
far.
shifter, that's why.
Oh, it's just so tight.
That's what it is, man.
There's really something to say when it comes to the shifters that Mazda makes for a lot of their performance vehicles.
Dude, this is a fun little quirk. When you have the signals on, they blink through the spokes of the wheel, and you can see the reflection, or you can see the shadow of the wheel on